Hi, and welcome to Dan's Lawn and Outdoors. Today we're going to be showing you how to sharpen your mower blades, change the air filter and the spark plug. And in the next video we're going to show you how to grease the mower and how to change the oil. There are some basic tools you need, and then there are a couple advanced tools you can add later. The basic tools include socket wrenches in the appropriate socket for your lawnmower, a file, a spark plug gapping tool, of course your lawnmower blade, a spark plug, a nail, a hammer, and your air filter. Now, there are some more advanced tools you can add, such as a drill, a socket adapter, a wire brush for the drill, an impact driver, and at the end of this video we are going to apply each of these products to a lawnmower blade that I will use this year, and later on we will figure out which product provides the best protection against grass, moisture, rust, and basically maintains the mower for the longest period of time. Lawnmower maintenance is very crucial to provide an excellent cut throughout the season. A dull blade will not cut the grasses cleanly and can cause various types of grass to die or to gain disease and not grow properly. An air filter and a spark plug will keep your mower running very efficiently for the years to come. There are a couple of steps. First, to make sure the mower will not start, we'll remove the spark plug wire and then remove the spark plug itself. Then we will open up the box and remove the air filter, and then we'll remove the blades, of course. Alright, so this is the lawnmower. We just want to make sure we have our safety glasses off, that the spark plug is unplugged, which it is, and then we're going to tip this back. So I prefer to tip it backwards just so nothing gets messed up in the fuel and oil mixing, and it is also easier for you all to see. So you can either have someone hold that down, or you can find something to weight it down. Just be careful that it doesn't break anything or scratch anything, of course. So we'll have the spark plug removed, we'll work on that later. But here are the two blades. This is a Honda, so it's two blades on top of, one blade on top of each other. And it's just like a one-bladed mower, except you have two blades sharpened, not one. So the first way to do it would be a standard socket. I'm using a 3/8. It's not very big, so make sure that's unplugged. And you can put your hand here. Make sure it's on the way. And just break the bolt like that. And then just spin it the rest of the way off. Make sure you maintain which way the washer's going, because certain lawnmowers have bent washers so that they don't break out or loosen. So just pay attention to that, especially if you undo them all the way. So now you can see that we have the blades, but another way to do it, if your blades are really stuck, and never do this on the way back, putting them back on, but you can just take an impact driver or drill and undo them with a drill. It's a very effective way, especially if you have one already. So we've lowered the mower. Now we're going to remove the spark plug. All you need is a socket wrench and a spark plug socket. Alright, so we have the spark plug. Now we're going to remove this air filter. All you have to do is pop these little tabs in, and it falls out. Just remember, if there's an arrow or some indication of how this is supposed to go in the box, to remember that. Mine's just written in the front with the serial number. I'll take that out. We'll put this back on so nothing gets in there. Alright, so take it off the air filter and the blades. And I've also collected a couple other blades that we're going to learn how to sharpen. And then we are going to learn how to clean this air filter, because I replaced it last year and I don't think it is dirty enough yet. So we'll just blow it out with some compressed air. And then the spark plug is also new last year, so I think it can live. But I have an old one, and we'll clean it up. And the replacement for these is the same as the installation. So just get a exact copy of it and then you can put it in when I put in the old one. With these, I would use a coarser file and then a finer file to get them a sharper edge. Alright, so we ground the angle just down enough so that the cutting edge is renewed, but we kept the same angle so that it doesn't remove too much of the wood, and you get a rounded curve, or you get a bowed in, which is ineffective for cutting and also wears out faster. And what you saw me do at the end was file this end, which removes any burrs which would affect the sharpness of the blade. Now you can take a finer file and just it will create a finer edge on your blade and keep it from dulling faster as if you had used a coarser. You'll have to sharpen it more often if you use a coarser file, whereas if you use a finer file, you might get a finer edge, which would keep it sharper for a little while longer. Alright, so this is our control. The rest of these will be put in mowers as well. And so we're going to clean off all the rust and such, and then paint them. Alright, so as you can probably see, the control took up a lot of time, but then the rest of the blades I just took and removed rust from the back of the trailing edge. The Honda was pretty clean. These are the two Craftsman blades, so I just cleaned up back there, a couple of the gaps in here, the leading edges, and then this one just took off all the rust, cleaned up a little bit under here, but then the control was obviously the worst. It is a little peeling paint. It's really rusty, so I just cleaned off as much rust here, cleaned up all the rust as best as I could on this spot, this as well as that, and this. And so that one will go untreated, and we'll see how this looks in a couple weeks. But then the rest of these are going to be treated with stuff like WD-40 Specialist, plain WD-40, Rust-Oleum, and lacquer, which I will be applying bare, and I'll be applying this bare. And actually, sorry, I misspoke. That is going to be applied on top of the Rust-Oleum. So, alright, so now that we've sharpened all the blades and cleaned them up, we're going to put a nail in this board and make sure they're very well balanced so that they will perform well and not ruin the spindles. Alright, so we've got our blades and we've got our hammer. We'll just put the nail right in the center. It does not matter how level it is, just make sure it's in there. Alright, so this is why you use your screwdriver. Some of these blades have a bevel in them where stuff likes to get trapped sometimes. So if you have any dirt, this one doesn't, but some of these do, and I kind of ground it out, but scrape in there and knock off any of the excess dirt that would affect the leveling. So another thing that you can add to this that I didn't mention is you can use a level. Just set it there, and as you can tell, just kind of balance it. This side is a little lighter, so I need to take a little bit off of this. But what the level is saying is, yeah, I just file a little bit off of this. So I'll go file this one down. Doesn't matter really how you put it on the thing, other than just unnail it. Just make sure it gets on there, and as you can see, this one's actually it's hitting. Never mind. There we go. This bud's a little bit off. Let's just let it sit there for a second. So it looks like this side's a little heavy, although the level is telling me it's not too overly heavy. It's a little hard to get these perfect. This one should be a little easier to tell. Just gonna put this on here, and this one, as you can see, probably my best level yet, is that it is attempting to tell me it's level. So it's level. So as long as it's somewhere close, this is definitely not a tried and true method. Now this one, I'm not sure because of how the blade symmetry is, but I think that's this side's definitely lighter than that side, but it's a very guess. It's a high-end guess, basically. This one's really easy level. And again, this side's heavy. This side's light. So what you get when you get out of this is you can tell which side's lighter. You can file that down and then rebalance them so that they're level. And this will help the crankshaft or the spindles to stay straight. Balanced our blades. Now we have the spark plug. So this is the new one. It doesn't look too bad. I took my spark plug tool, and it has a little bristle brush on it. And I just took it and basically just brush around everything, make it look as shiny and clean as you can get it. So I'll come up close to this one. So just brush up against anywhere that there's black corrosion, up against the all the parts on it. Alright, and another thing, only because I have two plugs that are hopefully matching, we can use a spark plug gap and gap test them against each other. So that one's pretty tight. That one might be a bit tight. And yeah, this one comes a little, that one's like perfect. So that one will probably run a little bit tight. So we replace that one. And then the air filter, as you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but I mean, there is just dirt inside of here. It probably should be replaced, but there's plenty of dust. I don't know if anyone can see that, but it's all in the cracks. So what you do is you take just a blowgun or a, probably with a leaf blower. Oh, here's a good one to show. There's just tons of dust in there. Fan it out and just blow it out. So just be careful with that. And then now we're gonna go put these back in, and that will be it. All right, so I forgot to mention, we're gonna go take these down to the shed, and we will go apply that to the blades and then attach them to the various mowers that they'll be on. That one I'll put on and another time. So let those dry for a second, and we're going to put in the spark plug. So same process as before. Just use your spark plug socket and some wrench and just get it started. I prefer to use the wrench just because it has a little more control to feel sometimes. And then alright, give it a final hand tighten, and we won't put that cover on. And then we got our air filter, cleaned it out. Honda serial numbers in the same spot, just push it in. Place any of the bolts you needed to. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to tip it up and put the blades on. Okay, so Honda is a stacked blade, which means the shorter blades or the smaller blades on top. So you can see they're well oiled. So we're just gonna, same process as before, put them on. I'm gonna snug tighten them with the impact driver, and then I will further tighten them with my hand. They're not technically for impact, but just, oops, that's the wrong one. We'll hand tighten, which proves that, yeah, we didn't tighten too tight, and it's tight. So, with that, the process would be similar the other way around for the other mower. So I spray painted them all. And the lacquer is this one. The spray paint is this one. So the lacquer is on the right, the spray paint is on the left when you're looking at the deck. Thank you for watching.